How's it going, guys? I am that socially awkward gamer you probably forgot existed, otherwise known as Patty Jack. And every now and then there's a sequel to a game that everyone is hyped for. Everyone is willing to spend their hard-earned money. They pre-order the game because the last one was just so good. And then the game has either a mechanic that's been changed, or the entire genre has been switched around, or it just isn't as polished, or the story isn't as great as the last game was. I'm talking about your Force Unleashed 2s, your Resident Evil 6s, and of course, Dragon Age 2, as I'm playing right now. I love Dragon Age. I really do. Dragon Age Origins is one of my favorite games of all time. That's one of the only RPGs I have gone back and played over and over and over again. And when this game was initially announced, I was ecstatic. I was like, oh my god, yes. They're going to use an updated engine. It's going to look better. They're going to make the combat more fluid. And I get to know more about the universe, because the lore in this game is fantastic. If you like RPGs, I'm just gonna tell you right now, go play Dragon Age Origins. All right, not this game. Go back and play the first one. This game, on the other hand, it was a giant disappointment, as I'm sure you know. It's been quoted numerous times, hundreds of thousands of times, I'm willing to bet, that it just wasn't as good as the first one for a variety of reasons. And we're going to discuss that today while I play. I have completed this game. I just don't have my old saves, so I decided to just start up a new game, play it a little bit to remind myself why exactly I hated this game. And oh my god, it has already reminded me. I'm just going to listen to these guys banter for a second. I can actually level them up, which I might do. Yeah, so for one, the characters just aren't as good. I'm gonna point that out right now. She never stops whining about people, about your brother that you lost, and it's incredibly annoying. I mean, throughout the whole game, they're like, oh, what if he was here? What if he was doing that? And I understand that their brother was lost, and it's a big deal, but I didn't know the character. I knew him for all of 5 minutes, and then he died. So I don't really care, and I find it incredibly annoying. Yeah. And she's probably the hottest character in the game, which is also really sad because she's not a romance option because she's your sister. Which is, yeah, that would be weird, obviously. I mean, the only other options you get in the game are that weird, socially awkward wood elf chick, which now that I think about it would be perfect for me, but you get her, and then you get, I don't know, that weird chick that looks like a man, the tank chick, and ugh, her chin freaks me out. She's got like a Jay Leno chin going on. And then you get, what's her face, Isabella, who just looks like a complete dirty whore, and it's really weird and gross. Anyways, okay, we're going to level up her characters. We've got the general... Why did I put strength up? She's a mage. Oh, I am so smart. You get your general RPG level up systems, then you get these kind of branching paths that you can follow. I think I'm leveling up her to be a spirit and healing mage. So what can I give her there? So healing, I'll give her greater heal. It's always nice to have a healing character in your party. Then we got Varric, who's I don't know, he's a decent character. They kind of just shoehorned him in there to fill that kind of Han Solo role, you know what I mean? The rogue hero role. And we'll put up, his dexterity and his cunning so we can use like his special attacks and things like that. Okay, so for each character you get kind of a rival system or a friending system, similar to the way it worked in Dragon Age Origins. Except in this game, I don't think that they will leave you if they hate you as much, like a certain amount, which is nice, I guess. But it was pretty easy to keep them all happy in the last game. Didn't really have a problem with that. Okay. So I guess we'll go talk to this person. Worthy. Okay, that's the quest title, I'm assuming.
Long time no see, my friend.
Okay.
Worthy. Not nearly long enough, I think.
So, one of the problems I really had with this game is the characterization of your player character. Okay, we're just going to be a complete dick to this guy.
Yes, I'm done with that.
I just I don't like the lack of options you have in this game like you do in Dragon Age Origins. I remember in Origins there was one mission branch where you had to deal with this possessed kid that had been possessed by this demon. And you had a bunch of moral dilemmas to go through in order to figure out how to solve the issue. You could just outright kill him, or you could try to sacrifice yourself or someone else in order to go into the Fade and try to bring him back, or you could just leave him because if you feared that if you like tried for too long, something bad would happen, right? Or some other mage would have to sacrifice themselves who could be a big benefit to you later on in the game. So you really had to weigh your moral decisions on whether it was worth saving this kid or if it was worth going all the way to the mages college to find someone who could help because you didn't know if he would still be all right when you got back. And the moral dilemmas just aren't present in this game, unfortunately, because okay, what are we doing? Am I ordering ruins? I didn't really use the crafting system in this game, so I have no idea. Wonderful. That was my codex. Yeah, so that level of morality just isn't available in this game. Why am I this person? There we go. Let's be Hawke. Yeah, I'll get to that in a second. I'll get to the Hawke thing in a second. Because you don't have the branching options other than be a good guy, be completely neutral, or be a general dick, it doesn't allow you to have that morality in the way you approach the game. Because even if you are a complete and total asshole in this game, it still leads you to the same conclusion. It's the same problem that Mass Effect had. You know, you could be a total dick as Shepard, but it would still lead you to the same conclusion. Although in Mass Effect that kind of worked because the whole storyline of the game was towards one goal. You knew who Shepard was either way. But in Dragon Age, they let Hawke be, I guess, a party control thing. Sure, why not? In Dragon Age, they allow Hawke to be this. You're supposed to be a branching character. You're supposed to like make your own story, or at least you could in Dragon Age 1. But in this game, it was made in a very odd time period for BioWare, where they were in the middle of the Mass Effect series, and they basically used this game as a trial for Mass Effect 3. They basically took some ideas to like put some more RPG elements and decide if it was even worth it. They added in things from Mass Effect and Mass Effect 2, such as having a persistent character across all playthroughs. So in Mass Effect, you had Commander Shepard, and in Dragon Age 2, you had Hawke, who was quite boring. You could be a guy or a chick. You would just be referred to as Hawke, and you didn't have those options to be anyone else, which I thought was one of the biggest selling points of Dragon Age Origins. One of the reasons I bought the game was because I could play through 6 different origin stories and be a different type of hero and have the outcome of the game be completely different either way. I mean, there's only well, there was actually one outcome to this game, but there was 2 branches near the end of it. What you did up to that point didn't matter. If you sided with the Templars or the mages, you could side with the mages all the way till the end. But unfortunately, they just gave you an option right before you make the final decision to side with the Templars. So you could be a mage the whole way through, like pro mages, and then at the last minute switch over to the Templars. And it made the whole game worthless. It was very reminiscent of the Mass Effect 3 situation where you have all these choices, this persistent character throughout the entire series, and you don't get to see that in the end game. You just get like 3 little different colored options. And to me, that's not what a role-playing game is. I think that most people who bought this game wanted a Dragon Age Origins style role-playing game.
Bust some teeth, then buy the drinks.
And it was very unfortunate because this game, as I said, came into a really weird place in BioWare's history where they were trying to get Mass Effect finished. They were trying to get that series ahead even further, and they couldn't spend as much time on Dragon Age 2. So what they had to do was take certain shortcuts, as in not putting in that morality or those different branches and choices and making it a more linear story so they could just get it. They could spend less time doing voice acting, and they can make a smaller world. I mean, this entire game took place in a city as well as like a couple little areas outside on the coastline. And you get like one little chapter in the deep roads. I can't tell you. I'm just going to skip through this. I'll take the job, whatever it is. I'm not even listening. Okay, we'll go show you some combat, and we'll talk about that in a second. So, unfortunately, this game recycled a bunch of like locations in it as well, which was obviously due to budget constraints that BioWare had at the time. And it's really appropriate that I've got someone messaging me about Dragon Age 2 right now as well. He knows exactly how much I loathe this game. Okay, I guess we're going to... Guess we gotta go Lowtown. Maybe we don't. I think we actually have to go to the coastline. Yeah, I think we'll go to the coastline because then we can actually get in some combat. Yes. Okay. So this is kind of the areas you get to go to. I mean, these aren't all separate areas. This is just you get Lowtown, you get Hightown, and I think you get like some docks portion as well. And then you can go to the nighttime version of everything as well, which can lead you to like some combat and stuff. But it's the same area either way. There's 2 areas in the city, and there's the coastline. And you can kind of like fast travel to certain areas. I mean, like all the chapters in Dragon Age Origins were very distinct. You would go to an entire chapter in the Mages Guild. It was a huge area to explore. Or in the chapter with the Dalish elves and the werewolves, right? It was really interesting. They all felt different. They all had their own unique flavors. But this entire game takes place in this area, like areas that look like the coastline like this, or they take place in the city. And it's just not fun. Okay, we'll just pause it here, get through this combat. You know, I didn't hate the combat as much as a lot of other people did. I actually thought it was alright. Okay, let's do that. Yeah. Should be backstab? Yes, it is. Good. The combat was definitely dumbed down a bit, but they left you in this kind of like pausing mechanism, which I do enjoy. It is a big strength to the series. And I tried to knock him down, but it did not work, obviously. Okay. Just gonna get through it here. I mean, the combat feels a lot more fluid than Dragon Age Origins did. Although I didn't really have a problem with the combat system as it was in the last game. I thought it was quite tactical, you know? I didn't play Dragon Age Origins for, like, fancy button-mashing fighting. I played it because I really enjoyed the story, you know? And I really enjoyed the combat that I did get because it was very strategic. I felt like I really had to, like... losing my train of thought. I felt like I really had to organize my party in certain ways and take certain people with me. And depending on what character I was, it really changed that. In this game, I feel like I can just kind of run around with whoever I want. Alright. And we will use the smoke bomb because there's tons of archers who are standing there. The big problem is a lot of these enemies also appear out of nowhere, which I really don't like. I don't think that should be in an RPG like this. Like, you will seriously just find characters, like, jumping down from ledges or even appearing out of thin air, just different waves of them. And it's just not fun, you know. I don't every time I go into an area, I fight 3 waves of these guys and then I move on to the next area. There really isn't much variation to that. I mean, in Origins, I could fight mages, I could fight demons, I was fighting werewolves, elves, everything. Fighting like darkspawn, everything that I've like there's tons of different things to do. I think there's only one dragon fight in this game as well, which is extremely disappointing. See, I mean, I'm just going through waves after wave after wave of these generic raiders, and you fight these guys through the whole game. This isn't just this isn't just me. This isn't just for this little part of the level or this chapter of the game. This is throughout the entire thing. I really hope I don't... Okay, I didn't hit the trap. That's good. That's good. I will say the mages are probably the most fun to play because you actually need to like hotkey a lot more spells and abilities and things like that. And by the way, I have this on normal difficulty. So the normal difficulty, I'm not even taking damage from these guys. Like, at all. Okay. Wonderful. Can I disable this trap? Let's see if I can. Oh, I did. That's disabling the trap, apparently. That's wonderful. I don't know. Like, I really enjoyed feeling like I was portraying my character. Like, my character was like a good portrayal of me, or that I could create my character. But in this game, I can't, you know? No matter what I do, I'm Hawke. I get to be good guy Hawke, or neutral Hawke, or bad guy Hawke. Well, not really bad guy Hawke, just slightly annoyed good guy Hawke. It's just... it's not engaging enough in a game like this. In Mass Effect, it works, because really all Mass Effect is a third-person shooter with hubs and choices. And that's, unfortunately, all this game is, too. If you want a game like that, then go play Mass Effect. Don't play this game. Because really all you do is you run around the city, which is a hub, and then you go out, you fast travel to an area like this, you kill a few guys, and then you leave. I mean, it doesn't feel like a coherent adventure. As opposed to Origins that felt like you always had an end goal. You always had to figure out what to do next. But this game just says, oh, go talk to this person in said hub. Oh, you need to go over here now. It wasn't like, okay, you need to go find the source of these werewolves, or find out what's going on in this magic tower. It just felt it felt like you were doing a bunch of errand and fetch quests, which you really are in this game. This game doesn't make you feel epic like Origins did. In Origins, you felt like a dragon slayer. You felt like a member of the Grey Wardens, you know, like this ancient pact of fucking brothers and stuff, and you just don't in this game. You just feel like Hawke, who's everyone's errand boy. Or girl. I don't know. Like, the whole game, you're just kind of doing stuff for other people. You're not working towards a specific goal, which makes the game incredibly irritating, in my opinion. Okay, we'll just head back to... we'll go to Lowtown. Just head back over there for a while. It's just... it's such a shame. And... I don't know. Like, if you really enjoy Baldur's Gate, if you enjoy, like, RPGs, like Knights of the Old Republic, go play those games, or go play Dragon Age Origins. They're way better. Go play Neverwinter Nights. I mean, they're real RPGs, unlike this game. This game is just Mass Effect with a slight BioWare Dragon Age skin on it. And it's really disappointing. On the flip side, I will say that I'm quite happy with how the third game is progressing right now, Dragon Age Inquisition. I haven't touched on that in this video as of yet. So, if you don't know, there's a 30-minute gameplay that you can go watch on the internet. You can go find it. And it looks really good. It looks like BioWare has listened to the fans. I have no doubt. I've seen that they've been very vocal and open to criticisms of Dragon Age 2. They've even said things along the lines of, yes, we know that this game wasn't that great and we want to make up for it. So we're going to make Dragon Age 3 be the best game with the most customization, the most choices, the most meaningful choices, and the best story we can to make it Dragon Age Origins, but with more. And if you haven't seen the 30-minute gameplay, go watch it. Basically, it makes you feel like a hero again. You feel like you're the leader of an entire investigation and adventure, and you command armies. You have to make choices while your cities are being attacked. And like, do you go like save the keep? Do you let your soldiers get healed up first, or do you go and try to save the village at the sacrifice of possibly losing your foothold and your keep in that area? And things like that are what makes a game like Dragon Age better, in my opinion. It complements the gameplay extremely nicely because it just makes you feel engaged with the story. It makes you feel like you are making your own choices. You're shaping this world as you go. You're not just kind of leading the X character or this Hawke or a Shepherd character down a path with no goal. As I said, in Mass Effect, it worked because you had an end goal. In this game, you just didn't. You were in this city, and then you were everyone's bitch and errand boy, and you went to the same dungeons like 6 times. I fought the boss. I fought the same boss in this game about 3 times, in the same dungeon, in the same room, and it was just ridiculous. It was completely ridiculous. So, I don't know. I'm very excited for Dragon Age Inquisition. I think it's going to be a great game. I'm not going to pre-order it. I'm going to wait till every review is out for that game because, unfortunately, as much as I hate to say it, BioWare burned me with this game. Absolutely burned me, and I can't trust them like I could before. I just can't. So, as we wait for Dragon Age Inquisition, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to see all the gameplay for it. I'm going to wait for those reviews to come out. I'm going to go to the reviewers that I trust the most, or who I feel have the best representation to what I want in a game, and then I'm going to make my own decision with the help of that and figure out if I want to try the game or not, because at this point I am extremely skeptical. Anyways, this is Dragon Age 2. It should just go down to the depths of hell as one of the worst sequels of all time. I am Patty Jack. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like. I would be super appreciative, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because then you can see all the other awesome content I make. Like, maybe you're interested in some Sky, maybe some Battlefield 4 content, maybe you want to see this angry rant, or my first impression reviews. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and stay socially awkward. Peace out.